Hello friends, welcome to my channel and thanks for watching this video. And I would say after a very long time, this is one of the steady weeks in the past couple of months as far as Wall Street is concerned, and more specifically the overall US stock market is concerned. So with that positive note, let me welcome you all to another session of USA Weekly Market Report series, where we are going to analyze what has happened in the last 1 week and what will probably happen in the next upcoming week. So with that, let's start with the important headlines. So as I told you that we have been a very steady week as far as the last 5 trading sessions are concerned, out of which Monday was holiday because of Independence Day, and with that we have very strong US payroll report, which further boost the confidence for another 75 basis point rate hike in the next or in the upcoming week as far as Fed is concerned. Apart from that, we have lost one of the major important leaders, which is known for globalization. So I mean, it's a sad thing that whatever has happened, it should not be done to anybody. It is not specific to a person or to a leader, but it should not have happened to anybody and for any country, because each and every human life is equally important. And more specifically, when you are leader, people started following you, and this is really a thing which must not happen, and this definitely have its ramifications. We don't know what will happen, but I hope this kind of things won't happen again. And it's really sad. So with that, let's move on to some other things. If you are thinking that crypto has stabilized and things have done well, so there is no such indications, let me tell you. And we will if you want, we will talk about some of the charts like Bitcoin or Ethereum, because crypto can move or it can double in a jiffy, but if it is moving like 5 or 10%, that does not makes any sense. Apart from that, it's been quite vocal by the institution that major economies will definitely be in recession, and it will be a big recession. Reason is very simple. For the last 2.5 years, we are suffering from, or the global economy was suffering from big supply concerns, and now because of geopolitical tensions and because of I would say economies are now closing down, and we have a demand issue, because previously we have supply and then inflation started shooting up, and now to curb down the inflation, interest rate are going up, and central banks have to make some big moves. Meanwhile, they are crushing the demand. That's the another way to do it, rather than solving geopolitical issues. That's the need of the hour. If you try to control demand by increasing rate hike, let me tell you, this will take time, or this will take much longer than one can think. Then the next time the demand will come back again. Okay, so this is a very peculiar situation. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I'm nobody to talk about institutions. They have all the resources, they have the intellects, they have in and out news and resources, an analyst who can do much more deeper analysis than me. But as far as a layman thinking is concerned, I can tell you, and these are very common things which are happening if you simply study stock market or how the stock market has behaved in the history. Okay, so once I have that fear in my mind that if I spend money beyond a certain point, things will go wrong. It doesn't matter next time if you give me money, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to spend it, I'm going to hold it until and unless I feel confident from inside that if I spend money, it will not harm me. Okay, so that's the kind of situation we are into, along with inflation as well as recessionary risk. So everything is uncertain in the very shorter term time frame. Apart from that, let us see. Gas giant Uniper submits bailout application to German government as Russia squeezes supply. So, as you can see, geopolitical developments are very important, and until and unless this gets solved, you cannot. This is going to get bad, and I have specifically said European zone are highly dependent upon Russia, and things are going to get bad if what we want is a dialogue and what we want is peace. Okay, so apart from that, ECB stress test shows more eurozone bank don't include climate risk in their credit model, obviously. Apart from that, yeah, Beijing city walks back plan to tighten COVID vaccine requirement after just one day. So this is one of the thing. I mean, they are in complete lockdown. We don't know the actual situation or the news, but we know how supply and demand works, and China is one of the biggest economies across the globe, and if there is a demand concern, obviously you should understand that there is a lack of demand from this big place as well. Apart from that, let us see. No, we don't have any further news. So the need of the hour is this. We have very strong numbers from US market, and central bank go by their thumb rule. They are going to increase the interest rate, that's for sure. So we have to see whether the stance will change or not in the short run, which is very difficult, and what will be their forecast going forward, so which we will get by next week for this month. Now, as far as the stock market action is concerned, Dow Jones closed flat, 46 point down. Nasdaq closed flat, 13 point up. Dow Jones S&P is also flat. Gold 1740, it has I think last time when we are talking last week, it was in between 1800 1810. Now it's $50-60 down. Oil is steady in between 100 and $110. Now USA 10-year yield now again started moving above 3%. That's not at all good. VIX is falling down, so which means if it continues to fall down, the volatility will reduce, so that this is a good sign, at least for the time being. Natural gas now again started rising higher. After retesting the lows of 5.4, now it is trading at $6. As you can see, all the yields are moving higher, and the 10-year, the 2-year and the 10-year and the 30-year, these yields are really flat. I hope that the US 10-year, 2-year or 1-year yield will not surpass 5 or 30 years. Otherwise, it will be a bad thing, because yield curve conversion has not taken very lightly, because it will be an indication that when the shorter term interest rate higher than the long term interest rate, it simply means that there are huge risk and uncertainties in the immediate circumstances, and stock market will act accordingly. Apart from that, the big index, the dollar index, has been moving quite strongly, closed at 106.9, and this is one of the highest. It has already tested 107, and everybody, I have listened to people who are saying that this is it, dollar index is now going to fall apart, how far it can go. But as far as the trend is concerned, I do believe that it can't sustain in the longer term on the upside. But the problem is the way dollar index has been moving, and right now If I may show you the chart, let's start with dollar index. Before it started falling down, it will definitely retest 119, 120. This is the weekly chart in front of you, and as you can see, it has simply crossed 190, 607. Now what I am saying here is a further 12% move on the upside, and previously a 1% move in a currency is or was a big thing. Right now, I mean, they are moving like stock. Nobody can believe that the dollar index in a matter of a year has moved 18%. 18% is a damn big move as far as dollar index is concerned, or as far as currency movement is concerned. And you can see the entire global stock market has taken a hit, and most of the major economies are on their knees. There are lots of reasons for that, but this is what has happened as far as US dollar index is concerned. Apart from that, and I have a firm belief that if it continues to sustain above 106 has already been crossed, and if it continues to sustain above 106.80, we will have 119 and 120 before it actually started coming down. Okay. Apart from that, let me show you Bitcoin. Okay. Otherwise I will forget it. If you are looking at the price chart of Bitcoin, I have never seen this kind of lame price performance from any cryptocurrency, and more specifically we are talking about the Bitcoin. This is the big boy. Okay, and it has moved merely 21% in a span of 19 days. So I mean, even stocks have performed much better than cryptocurrencies. So this is not at all the right time to jump in and to sing a song that this is going to be the next big thing. Even if so, there is not an indication right now, and right now people will definitely give preference to stocks, because there are some serious breakdown that we have seen in the crypto world, and those who have lost their money, they will be in a fearful zone. No doubt that there is a huge population across the globe who are very, very enthusiastic about the crypto world, but things will take time. Understand one thing, retail people do move the market, they have the potential, but it's the big money who keeps thing going on until and unless the retail pace matches it up. So this is the most important thing we need to understand. Apart from that, if I'm going to talk about Nasdaq, this is Nasdaq, and Nasdaq right now, what I can say here is this is just a counter move that's been happening, and Nasdaq is simply as you can see over here, it is just a trading bounce back, nothing else. I can't say that it will be a big bounce back and now you can see that the trend reversal is happening, so nothing like that. Okay, so as far as Nasdaq is concerned, we have some very specific levels to look at, and here we are, 11,642, and if it continues to sustain above that, what we are waiting for in the short term is 12,369. So this is what we are looking at as far as Nasdaq is concerned going forward. And if I talk about Dow Jones, if I talked about the short term chart of Dow Jones, so there is nothing much on the upside right now, because what we have here is an upside target of 31,820, and you have your support level at 30,685 or 680 on the downside. So please don't go below 30,685. Now the gist of, or the summary of this week's weekly market, USA weekly market report is this: there is no indication from the central bank that they are going to wind up their interest rate or interest rate hiking cycle very soon. Once they give the indication, things will change appropriately and market will definitely take that into consideration before anybody else does. But right now there is no such indication as far as the US market as well as the global market is concerned. So this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching.